Hey, so not too long ago, I was asked to make a video covering like how I go about top front end questions, what I think about my thought process, my strategies, whatever. Because I'm in a little pre-done org at UT, and we have like a little DAT study group type thing. And yeah, I was just asked to make a video explaining that stuff. Recently, I've been asked for help on keyhole, angle ranking, and pattern folding questions. So I guess I'm just making videos on those now. So this is the start of a little like I guess series of those videos. So first we got angle ranking. Um, Honestly, out of all those three that I listed that I'm gonna be covering, this is probably like the most boring, least interactive in terms of like actually showing it. Um, if any of you watched the first video for top front end. I have another PowerPoint right here. There's a couple of questions that I stole from a boot camp. I think it was a angle ranking generator, not a question bank this time. A generator, and I only put 10 this time because 15 was kind of like a lot. I feel like especially in angle ranking that'll get kind of boring. So yeah, that's about all of that. I'm just gonna go ahead and get started if you feel bored and you want to watch this or something, or you just want another strategy if you may not, if you don't already use this, um, or just see what I do, honestly. Feel free to watch, or if you just want to listen for whatever reason or you're bored, uh, okay, that's cool too. Okay, so basically how I go about angle ranking questions, um, there's actually a couple things, but I have one main strategy. Everyone has their own like big strategy. There's which laptop looks the most open or something like that. I don't do that. So my my point of view, my strategy has four different scenarios. The biggest angle we can have in these types of questions is a 180-degree angle, just, a straight line. So you split that 180 into four different 45-degree sections. And then each one of those sections is its own um, scenario. So we have the angle between 0 and 45-degree scenario. We have the 45 to 90. We have the 90 to 135. And then we have the 135 to 180. I believe this PowerPoint should contain at least one example of each. And we'll go through them like what I look at and everything for each one of those. But it's pretty much all the same concept. And I do need to give a little warning. Um, I cannot guarantee that this strategy will get you 100% correct every single time. It doesn't even do that for me. If I knew a strategy that would get me 100% on angle ranking every time, I would probably like monopolize that and maybe get rich off of it. But this doesn't do that. All I know is that in my experience, this strategy, this thought process has shown me the most consistent and accurate results out of anything I've used. And it's what I started using once I like came up with it. I'm sure there are other people that use something very similar or even the exact same thing. So, um, yeah, but just be warned, I can't guarantee 100% on everything. Um, so if you see me get one wrong on here, sorry. Anyways, let's get started. So first thing that I like to look at is the answer choices because it'll help me like do a few comparisons and then eliminate accordingly to narrow down my answers. So I just look at either the smallest ones or the largest ones. Smallest one gives me only two options, so I'm going to pick that one first, either three or one. So in this scenario we have here, actually, another one of the first things I like to do is if I want to see if there's a constant, like a constant line. Sometimes you'll see some angle ranking questions, either a pair of angles or both pairs of angles or all the angles will have a constant line that is just the same for every single angle while another line changes. On this one, it looks like they all have the same constant, or if not, then at least 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Um, yeah, but it looks like they're constant. They have this one that's constant. I kind of just circled the whole thing on two on accident. Okay, anyways. Um, right now I need to determine the smallest, and also using that constant is like really helpful uh in your comparisons. So first I'm looking between 1 and 3, and I kind of cut myself off, but this is a scenario in which we're like between 135 and 180 degrees. And my strategy, if I can't just compare straight off of the constant. So actually let me do that first. Between 1 and 3, okay, 1 swings down, assuming this is constant, 1 swings down more than 3 does. 3 just goes like that. Whereas, and obviously, like, on your real DAT or even on like your practice DATs, you can't mark on this. So I'm going to try to refrain from annotating as much as I can because obviously you can't do that. Um, I'll show it every now and then to like just help you guys visualize what I'm seeing and like what I'm going for. Anyways, um, I won't do it way too much. It's mostly just following the mouse, like the point of my mouse. So make sure you keep an eye on that. As I just pointed out, 1 swings down more than 3 does. So that means 1 is bigger because since it's swinging down more, it's closer to 180. So I'm crossing out A. And now my other comparisons are between 2 and 4 as being the largest, as we can see from the remaining choices. So 2 and, okay, this one's kind of obvious, you can see. 2 swings down a lot more than 4 does. So 2 is definitely larger than 4. And now all we have left is the comparison between 1 and 4. And since these ones are relatively close, this is when we can actually start using my strategy. Um, so this is the between the 135 and 180 degree scenario. And in this case, I essentially move one of these lines to basically make a 180-degree angle. And I see how much space and how much movement I need in order to make that happen. In this specific scenario, the less space I need to make and the less movement I need in order to make a 180-degree angle, the larger the angle. And the more space you need, obviously, the smaller angle. And the way I do this is I take my mouse and I literally just move the line. I take it and then I just drag it in my head and just like kind of like rotate it. I swing it like a door hinge, like a door hinge. You just swing it around until it's fully open. So I do this and I try to analyze and like understand how much white space and how much movement I needed to even do to make that 180. Sometimes I'll do it multiple times to help me visualize it, but I do that more so on the 0 to 45. But it's helpful if you do it multiple times. Anyways, doing this a couple times, it requires that much for 1. I feel like 4 requires a little less. So I'm inclined to believe that 4 is bigger than 1. Let me make sure. It'd be a shame if I got the first one wrong. Okay, yeah. 4 is bigger than 1. Um, so that makes my answer B. So let's go ahead and check. All right, cool. So there you go. That whole you can move either line, but sometimes a certain line will be easier based on the orientation of the angle. I feel like that bottom one was easier to see. So yeah, it's really just all about moving the line and making the angle so you can see, okay, how much space do I need to make this angle? And then you just compare. Okay, moving on. This next one, based on my answer choices, that's how I start again. It's between 3 and 1 being the largest. I'm very inclined to just shoot for 3 right now because 1 looks pretty close to, and by the way, I'm doing the, oh, I forgot to mention. This is the 90 to 135 degree angle scenario. In this scenario, um, you just do the whole line moving trick, except you go to 90 degrees, make a right angle, and the less space you need to make the right angle, the smaller the angle, and the more space you need, the bigger the angle. So between 1 and 3 right now, just looking at it, I feel like 3 is larger. I'm gonna cross out B just because. But even if I do this little angle trick, I barely need any movement to turn 1 into a right angle. And I feel like I need a little more. I need a little more to turn 3 into a right angle. So yeah, I'm saying 3 is larger. So now my smallest is between 1 and 4. So now I got to compare those two. And 4 is really close as well. Very, very close. And right now I'm doing the same thing between both of them and just comparing them. Honestly, this seems a little slow, but it's because, okay, two reasons. One, I haven't done this in like a year. Two, because I took my DT like about a year from when I was recording this. And two, I'm explaining it. If you actually do this without any of this explaining stuff, and after practicing it for a little bit, it's pretty quick. Okay, I shouldn't say pretty quick. I'll be honest, angle ranking was my slowest. Um, but it wasn't bad. On my actual DAT, angle ranking was a lot easier than boot camp and like the question banks and generators. No idea why, but the differences were just extremely obvious. Uh, Maybe I got lucky with my DAT. Who knows? I've never taken another one, so I cannot confirm or deny that. Damn, this is tough. I still think 1 is smaller, just barely. Okay, so now it's between 2 and 4. Which one of these is smaller? Considering how close 4 was to 1, I want to pick D. 2 is definitely larger than 4. Because 4, I barely need to move to make that right angle. But 2, though, 2, I do a little bit of movement. A little more, yeah. So I'm inclined to believe that A is correct. Let's see if I'm right. Okay, good. I am. So, yeah, that's. I really don't know what to say after literally I don't. I did the whole thing, you know. It's really that's as straightforward as you just move the line, and they just see how much space there is. I really okay. Let's just go to the next question. All right, this is a 0 to 45 degree angle question. Um, I'm a big fan of these ones sometimes because sometimes you can just look at it and just know. One thing I like to look at is the white space. The more white space you see in these, obviously the larger it is because that means it's open more. So first up, we're looking at the largest angle, 2 and 4. And instantly just from looking, 4 is definitely not the largest. It's got the tightest gap right there out of all of these. So least a white space. So I want to feel like it's one of the smaller ones. And in comparison to 1 to pick as the smallest, I still believe 4 is, but now I can actually start introducing, but it's a little close, so I can start introducing the little trick. You can move. What I do for these is you close it. How much space do you need to go to 0? 0. So you just move between the lines, and this is what on these ones I always go back. I just continuously go back and forth because it helps me gauge the actual distance. Okay, yeah. And it has to be like relatively in the same spot. You can't do it like, oh, okay, I'll just do right here for 1 and then do right here for 4. Obviously, that's not going to work because those are two different spots. The end of the mouth is like obviously going to be like much wider than the inside. But just off that, 4 definitely felt smaller. So now I'm comparing 3 and 1. These two are the closer ones. And this is when it gets a little tough. I honestly, just from doing this, this is a hard one, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. I think three is larger, so I'm gonna go with A. I hope that's right. If I get it wrong, sorry. Thank God. So yeah, this time all we do is just go back and forth, go back and forth. Not increasingly, but I'm just bad at drawing on the laptop. You just go back and forth, gauge the space, compare it. Whichever one needs more space is the larger angle. Simple as that. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so this is a 135 to 180 degree angle example. These ones are also one of the nicer ones in my opinion, because all you got to do is turn it into a 180 degree angle, a straight line. A lot of the times you can just look at these and tell, which is very nice. So yeah, let's go ahead and try this one out. So the largest angle is either 3 or 1, just looking at it. No need to explain. 3 is larger. Next up, we have 1 and 4. Which one is the smallest? Oh, and also, it kind of looks like we have some constants here. I didn't even pick that up. That's neat. Okay. 4 swings down a lot more than 1. So yeah, I like I like 1 being the smallest. So I'm gonna go with that. And then as for the final comparison, we have between 2 and 4. I'm getting rid of the annotate. These two are the closer ones well, in terms of this comparison, but just from looking at it, I feel like 2 is larger, but we'll do the little trick. So I'm literally gonna drag the line, move it, see, okay, which one is larger? Which one requires less space to go to 180? And just from doing this, uh, I feel like two is a little larger. And get out of here. I'm not gonna lie, this one's tough. I'm pretty confident that 2 is just barely larger. So I'm gonna go with A. Let's see if that's right. Okay, cool. Um, yeah. Uh, these ones just go to 180. Drag your little line, do the whole swoosh thing, swing it around, open the door, whatever. You know the deal by now. Next question. Okay, this one's annoying. Uh, only nice comparison we have is 2 and 3, because we have a constant. Is there any? Okay. C is the only one that um puts 3 below 2. But as we can very clearly see, 2 is bigger than 3. So I'm crossing out C immediately, thankfully. Now what we have left is damn, they don't give anything nice. Okay. We have 1, 2, and 4. Which one is the largest? I mean, just looking at it, 2 is the largest. So I could shotgun B right now. Should I do that? No. I'm supposed to be teaching. Okay. So comparing 1, 4, and 2. Let's do this is between the 135 and 180, but it's not as close as the last one, except for 2, really. So we do the whole swing around thing. Make your 180 degree angle and then just compare the space. It's the same thing over and over again. 2 is definitely the largest between all of those. And then that would have left it between B and C, like between 1 and 4, which one is larger? And then if I honestly, you don't have to do just one line. If you don't feel too confident about using one line, definitely use the other. However, sometimes the orientation of the angle does interfere with it, makes it a little more difficult, but you got to work with it. Honestly, I'm agreeing that one is larger. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of feeling. Just barely. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with B. This very well could be wrong, and if it is, sheesh, embarrassing for me. Okay, let's go with B. All right, thank God. This is nerve-wracking, I'm telling you. Even now, even it's not even my exam. It's just a regular PowerPoint I made up. Okay, cool. So this is another one of those between 135 and 180. Swing it all the way to the 180. And this one, luckily, I was able to just look and eliminate choices. It's nice when you can do that, you know? You gotta love it. Sorry, gotta fix my shirt. Okay, next up. This one is a very close, like between 90 and 135. Luckily, we're on the shorter end, or I should say the lesser end. So it'll be a little nicer. We just look at them. Looking at these, 1, 2, and 4 as being the largest immediately. 2 is probably the second most. I feel like 2 would be the second largest, not the largest. 3, I feel like would have been the largest, but just looking at it, I feel like 2 and 3 are the largest. But clearly none of the answer choices say that, so I should just shut the hell up and stop embarrassing myself. So, um, between the choices we have for largest 1, 2, and 4, I'm I really feel like 2 is just from looking at it, and I can do the whole line trick, which I will do right now just to confirm. No point in not. Yeah, 2 is the largest. Now it's between 3 and 4 being the smallest. Oh, who would have thought 3 is one of the smallest? No, I kind of see it. Yeah, I barely have to move it for that. So yeah, four is definitely going to be the smallest. So I'm thinking it's B. And real quick, I'm going to do a comparison between 1 and 3, just because I didn't immediately see 1 being larger than 3. It's probably because the orientation, not going to lie. Orientation is really tricky. Yeah, I'm cool with that. So I'm going to go with B. Um, a lot of the times, answer choices will suggest that a certain angle is like either the largest or the smallest by having multiple answer choices with the same one as the largest or smallest. Sometimes they can lead you in the right direction, sometimes they won't. Um, so I would not just go off answer choice like, oh, this is saying it has like 2 answer choices or 3 answer choices that has, oh, like 3 as the smallest or like 1 is the largest. You can't always go off that. I've had a few questions where like I remember one specific question this one time where there were like 3 answer choices that said one of them was the largest, and it was the answer choice that said it wasn't the largest. That was correct. So uh don't get fooled by uh answer choices. Be confident in your work, you know. Anyways, I'm picking B. Nice. Nothing much to say about that. Um the whole right angle one. I told you guys at the beginning. This is like the least interactive, most boring one. Let's go to the next one. So um here, okay, no good comparisons immediately. 2, 1, 4 are my choices for largest. Um, this is the 45 to 90. Just from looking at these, I'm actually gonna do the line thing. I don't think I can't really, maybe I can, but I don't want to jump the gun. Barely need to move one. Also, I think I barely need to move two, like less than one. So I'm gonna say two is the largest. I very well could be wrong about, very much could be wrong about that. Anyways, now it's saying between three and one and being the smallest. So let's go ahead and play the game again. I'm feeling, I think three is smaller. Yeah, I'll go with that. Oh shoot, I said three is smaller. Okay. That means A. So I'm gonna go with A. Let's see if that's right. Okay, cool. This is kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. Um, if you like angle ranking, sorry. It's cool, I guess. But teaching it, I mean, uh, when nobody's there, I mean, it's kind of boring. All right, let's go to the next question. Hopefully this is making sense. I'm using because are following my mouse and everything. Um, this one we have a 135 to 180 scenario. I'm just gonna start with the smallest ones because it only gives me two options. And okay, I have two constants, two pairs of constants. Two is larger than one. Okay, that cancels out nothing for me just from looking at it because the non-constant swings out more. This is the non-constant one, by the way, if you couldn't tell. And then three and four have this one as their constant, I believe. Four swings out slightly more than three. So anything that says four is less than three, I'm gonna get rid of. So you can see. Oh, I drew that poorly. Boom. This one almost goes straight down. So yeah, four swings out more. So that means it's larger in this case. Um, Now it's just, I have a lot of things I could use. I could use one or three as being the smallest, or two or four being the largest. Just from looking at it, actually, I can't. Because orientation can also influence what it looks like. So I'm going to do the little line trick, try to make it a 180 between two and four, see which one is larger, base my answer off that. And since I'm not feeling way too confident, I feel like I need to do this a little more. I'm switching between the lines occasionally, trying to figure out, okay, which one is the, smaller one. I'm inclined to believe that four is larger. And I think I'm going to go with that. So I'm going to go with C. Let's see if that's right. This is another example of don't just go for the answer choice that has like two in the, you know, has two answer choices with the greatest one. Because this one says three for two of them as being the greatest. Sure, the one worked out, the three did not. So yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one. I have no idea how many are left. There's only 10 total, but I have not been keeping count. Um, this is another 90 to 135 example. So they give me three on each. Kind of stinks. Three, one, and two as being the largest. Well, that doesn't help. I can't immediately just guess. Four, two, one as being the smallest. They they are not being nice on this one. Okay. We'll just start with the largest. Three, one, and four. Or sorry, three, one, and two. I'm gonna move the line, try to make a 90, see which one requires the least amount of space, or I should say the most. Okay. Let me move the other line. Sheesh. Okay, it's definitely not one. Say that much. 3 or 2. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, I might actually get this one wrong. I feel like 3 is just a bit large. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not feeling way too confident about that, but I'll go with it. Okay, now it's between 1 and 4 being the smallest, and I can do that one real quick because it's a smaller one. Hopefully, I don't eat my words right now. Barely have to move it there. Which one I have to move less? Barely right there, like at all. 4 is slightly larger. So I'm gonna go with C. Let's see if that's right. That actually might be wrong, I'm not gonna lie. I got every single one wrong. Can you believe that? I told you. This is not gonna get it 100% of the time. I'm not a fraud. I'm not a fraud. But I did get it wrong. If you got D, if you're doing this with me and you got D, I applaud you. Very good. I did not get it wrong. I would have missed this. Anyways, next question. Oh, I love this one. Okay, cool. Um, the what is this one? 135 to 180. Sometimes you can just look at these. These are nice. Um, 2 is just looking at it has to be like the largest. So I'm getting rid of those. Anything that says otherwise. And then it's between 1 and 4. I'm gonna do the little trick because they're not way too far off of each other. They're like very close. But I think 4 is just barely larger, barely. So I'm gonna go with B. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go with B. Okay. Thank goodness. Yep, those ones are a little nicer to work through. Uh, let's see if there are any more. Nope, that's actually it. Cool. Um, as I said at the beginning, Angular ranking is like the least interactive, probably most boring in my opinion, out of all of these. Um, but yeah, that's the strategy I use. Just depending on the scenario, move a line and then compare the amount of space you need to create a certain type of angle. Um, this strategy, it gets me most of them right, like every time. I did miss one, which will happen. I am not perfect at this, I'll tell you that much. So yeah, if this is something you don't do already, you could try doing this, see how it works for you. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM or whatever. I have my comments off on this because I do not check this. I do not use this YouTube account at all. I will if I ever left comments on and somebody commented on this, I will not see that. Like ever. So yeah, if you need anything or have any questions, shoot me a DM. This is just the first video of like a little series. I got like a what were they again? Keyhole and pattern folding coming up. So uh yeah, I guess if you need help with that, or if you would just want to watch those for whatever reason, feel free to watch those. That's it for this one. Uh yeah, good luck.